Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I will detail the story of Big U's little brother, Little Draws. Now, Big U has had a lot of controversy in the last few years, especially with last month's indictment called Operation Drawdown, to bring him and anyone involved with him down, due to years of extortion, murder, robberies, and scams. Big U has had a long history in the streets, gaining a dangerous street reputation, repping the Rolling 60 Crips, who were formed in the 70s. Big U went by several names like Hannibal and Big Draws. He had strong family ties in the Rolling 60s, with several family members claiming the gang, and his little brother would follow in his footsteps. Dwayne Little Draws Dupree, also known as being Big U's little brother. Like I said before, he will follow in the footsteps of Big U, even taking his name, also becoming fully invested in the streets and everything the 60s had to offer. By the 90s, Big U was in prison after being arrested in a sting operation, which he received 13.
Hey, that's hard. Little brother name was Little Draws. Big brother name Big Draws. You upset? I would have called him Hannibal though. That sound better to me. Like
years for. During Big U's prison stint, a new record label will form in Los Angeles, with faces like Suge Knight and Dr. Dre initially owning and running the company. Many artists in LA County will sign with the label. Suge Knight began signing young inner-city California-based artists. The most known in the beginning of Death Row would be the future superstar Snoop Dogg, and also his crew, the Dog Pound, that featured Kurupt and also Daz. Kurupt's life started in Philly, where he would later move to Los Angeles in his teenage years. He would hook up with his rap crew there, and also a known gang, the Rolling 60 Crips. And many Rolling 60s would take a liking to Kurupt, some including Big U and his brother Little Draws. And off this affiliation to respected Rolling 60 members like Big U, Kurupt started claiming the game, building a relationship with the 60s further Kurupt in the streets and also in the industry. Before Big U had his hands on rappers like Nipsey, Kurupt would be the first one.
Still in the, I'm still in the streets. The little homies is coming, they want to go get down, and
it's crazy how Kurupt got this like persona of being like a super LA Crip, or like he at a point in time it was like Snoop and Kurupt and Daz and them, they was like their representation, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm helping them out, and I see Kurupt in the car, and I'm like, what you doing in here? Ain't you the rapper? And he like, yeah. And I'm like, man, get out the car.
You pulled him out the car.
Yeah, I'm like, you got a whole nother purpose. Like, and I know he Lamont Broomfield rapper. And I'm like, you don't need to go with the homies. And I'm like, I pulled him out the car, and I tell him, man, get on back around into the garage where you supposed to be at. And then the little homies took off on their little thing, I guess. And I seen Kurupt maybe 2 weeks later, and I'm telling Lamont, I'm like, man, you better get your boy. Your boy, he going down the wrong road. He like, no, man, I'm cool, big homie, I didn't go. And I'm like, all right, well, if you doing this. So we just was vibing in the studio. Then we get to do the paperwork. I started Delicious Entertainment. That was the name of the group back then, my company. I had already...
Delicious Entertainment. That's something, bro. I know Vlad was probably loving it. The way he was, this wasn't a good... Because he was trying to be discreet with what he was saying, but he still... One would look at it like, if you had the ability to pull Kurupt out the car, you had the ability to stop the whole car from going to go do what it was going to do, type shit. You feel me? Ugh.
Just signed the deal, and it was under Delicious Entertainment. My wife wouldn't get the paperwork. So then we was doing the music part, and unfortunately, it was I was gone.
But with Big U going to prison early in Kurupt's career, it was too early to extort or control him. And many would say that Kurupt and a lot of things at Death Row would be a lot different if Big U was around in the early and late 90s.
And Death Row starts to form.
Right.
And the Dog Pound and everything else like that. Were you out when Death Row started to build up and Kurupt started?
Not at all.
You were in jail the whole time?
It never happened when I had no Death Row.
What do you mean?
I love Suge to death, but he definitely wouldn't have been moving around L.A. like that.
And I just take it that he's saying Suge would have definitely met a whole lot more resistance the way he was pushing around town. You know what I'm saying? He would have been challenged because, U's equally as big, as far as physical.
But what, to my LA natives, right? What y'all think about hearing something like that? Because they be trying to downplay Suge like he just wasn't a boy. I understand Big U a boy, whatever have you, but they be trying to play it like Suge but then you hear other stories about Suge being a terrorist. You feel me? It's crazy.
Stature, and you know he indulges in that kind of activity. You know, I know firsthand.
By 1991, Big U was in prison. By 1992, Corrupt officially signed with Death Row Records. Now, Corrupt began to be known for several songs on Death Row compilation albums, as well as featured on several Death Row artist albums, and also him and Das releasing their Dog Pound album in 1995. As the years went on, due to Suge Knight prison stint, Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre leaving the label, and Tupac's death, Death Row went downhill, and many artists left the label, including Corrupt. Corrupt released his first solo album called Corruption in 1998. It was also his first album without Death Row. It was followed by Streets as a Mother in 1999, but recording this album in 1999 is where everything would turn bad. On October 17th, 1999, Corrupt and other rappers like The Realest and Act the Fool had a studio session, which several people were in attendance, including Rolling 60 Crips like Key Rock and also Little Draws, who acted as Corrupt's bodyguard. The studio session was at Echo Sounds Recording Studio in Atwater Village. Atwater Village was a gang-filled area. It's not confirmed if the artist knew the area was dangerous. What followed next has many theories of what happened or why it happened. Many would state gang members from Toonerville and gangs from Atwater Village would feel disrespected by the presence of the artist being in the area, without them tapping in or not showing any respect. But many people will also think it was racial, with Toonerville not wanting any black people in their area. But what the artist didn't know was that Timothy McGee from Toonerville was one of the most dangerous figures in LA streets at the time, and was a known killer, and he would kill anything at will.
Bro don't even look Mexican, bro look white. You know what I'm saying? He look white, bro.
By 1999, having a double-digit body count. Timothy would allegedly do a drive-by with an AK-47. Him and another person trying to kill everyone in sight. The Realest would be shot in the foot, and Act the Fool was also shot in the shooting. This left everyone in shock who was there. The shooting was unexpected. And one more person would be shot in the shooting, and that would be Little Draws. Little Draws would lose his life from the shooting, and he would be the only one who died. At the time, many news outlets will put out a story that has been proven to be completely false. That Corrupt's beef with New York rapper DMX over Foxy Brown led to the shooting. The rappers made diss songs to each other, and the shooting furthered the speculation. But this wasn't true at all.
Now, you see, yeah, anybody who believe DMX got the reach over here in the West Coast to have something like that done is ridiculous, bro. Go ahead with that shit. But at the time, I could see how some people would feed into it.
To go up to Echo Sounds that day. So I don't know if this guy was mad because they was in his territory or his neighborhood. If one of them got into it with him at the liquor store or in the area, he just didn't like Black Pyru or gang members because it was both Bloods and Crips there. Keto Rock was there, Big C Style was there, Lil Draws was there. They from the blue side. But this dude rolled by on a motorcycle and let them have it. Shot them all up with an AK-47. I remember the Realest guy.
It's unfortunate nobody had a blick, bro, to blow back, because that shit, it definitely sound. You know, it's weird that it be a lot of, like, racial tension coming from, like, it's not weird, but it be a trip that, like, say, for instance, see how Reggie say it was Bloods and Crips there. He didn't give a fuck, though. He slid. You know what I'm saying? Type shit, like, and meanwhile, it might be tension between Bloods and Crips, right? Ain't that, get that, like, it's division amongst each other, and then it's also, like, a disdain for surely outside of the community. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, motherfucker? Like, hold on, fuck them niggers type shit.
Shot, Big Draws. He died from his gunshot wound.
Now, when all the shooting stopped, I think the Realest had got shot that night. He had got shot in the leg.
I remember hearing that.
Yeah, he got shot in the leg that night. Yeah, him and the cat Act the Fool, he was on death row. He got shot in the leg. And man, rest in peace to Draws, man. Big U little brother, man. Draws, my nigga. That was the coolest nigga, man. He had got some kind of way, bro, with everybody. I'm in the booth, so some kind of, they was outside smoking or something.
So Big U little brother got killed this night?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Draws.
Several years later, Timothy McGee was sentenced to death for the studio shooting, along with a list of other shootings resulting in several deaths and many people shot. It has been 20 plus years since Little Draw's death. Big U in the rolling 60s always honored him and showed him respect. His death has been solved with Timothy McGee being arrested and serving his time now, but no one still knows why it happened. This will conclude this episode.
Nah, we know why it happened. You know what I'm saying? It was some racist shit for sure. You know, it should be prevalent out there amongst like the non-black gangs and shit like that is what I be noticing. He looked dead on Big U, bro. That's crazy. Rest in peace, twin condolences to Big U. It's shit, bro. It definitely be a tragedy. I always wondered though, like why like certain certain gangs don't take a special, like I heard about certain shit like when they like, oh, we gonna slide, like certain gangs when they would get into it, had their little beefs or whatever, say like the Mexicans might be like, all right, we coming through, we killing anything black type shit. And I understand that at a point in time, like within the back and forth, it'll get like that on the black side, but that ain't naturally how he is though, like, you know what I'm saying, like, but I don't understand why, like, the fact that it's so much disdain and hate for the community ain't a reason to come together type shit. Like how I was talking about, it was Bloods and Crips out there. It ain't matter the blood when he slid through. He all he seen was black. You know what I mean? But I'm sure they wasn't flagging the other colors or whatever. It was just them being out there. And it's crazy, like, to keep it real, it's a trip that, like, just the presence of certain people, it bother other people. You know what I'm saying? Just the present, just they see you smile and have a good time, it bother them. Like, look at them, type shit. But y'all let me know what y'all think. We on to the next one. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, bruh. Playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Say, yo, you can't playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that